Today, I will be talking about selling your custom videos that you have created, even if you are new, through a program called Upwork. In a moment, I will go through a step-by-step method and show you the very best way to configure Upwork, so you can get tons of work, even without any experience. Yes, that's what I said, even if you are new.
Now let's have a look at Upwork, which is quite the opposite. So here we are on Upwork.com. Now the first step before you go searching for jobs and browsing job posts is to create your profile, which is very similar to filling out a resume, or it can also be compared to filling out your profile on LinkedIn. In fact, it's very similar. You've got a summary statement right here that describes what you are and who you are and what you're good at. Then you create an hourly rate. Then if you have past examples of your work, you put them in your portfolio here. Then, and this is very similar to LinkedIn, you select your skills. And as you type these out, it'll actually populate pre-existing skills that exist in the Upwork database. And you put those here, and those are kind of like skill tags so that you show up higher if people are actively searching for freelancers, okay? Tests. If you have taken any types of tests, for example, if there's specialized tests for your industry or your category of work, for a language test, there might be a D-Lab or something along those lines. If you are a linguist, if you have certifications, employment history, education. So you've seen all this before. We're not going to go through how to fill out a resume or a profile. Let's move on to actually searching for job posts. So let's say, for the sake of our example, this time we're not doing video stuff. We want to be a social media manager. We want to go out and handle posting and content creation and content curation for a business. So we're going to search for social media manager. And what we've got is a bunch of results, people looking for social media management. Pretty straightforward. This one's urgent. Look at that. Here we need somebody who knows how to use Facebook ads. Not really what we're looking for, but social media, of course, pops up as one of the results. Marketing coordinator for marketing strategy and social media. Not the most specific thing that we're looking for. Let's come back up to this top one here, which was, I think, exactly what we're looking for. Senior social media manager or social media strategist. Let's click on this one. Let's click on this one. And that brings up the job details. So let's browse through this and see if it's something that applies to us. So they're looking for a social media manager or social media strategist. They're looking for someone in the United States. They're an established client. They've paid out over $200K on Upwork, so definitely a good client to go after. They're looking for a senior social media manager or strategist. We're going to pretend that we have the experience to be called senior in this case. And they give an example of responsibility, such as working with senior directors to establish social media marketing goals, help the social media team create high-quality content, approve content, guide and oversee the writing team for creating content, and so on and so forth. They're looking for someone to work 30 hours a week or more. They're looking for someone for the long haul, over 6 months, not just a single delivery of a project, but an actual long-term project here. They're looking for someone who has a mix of experience and value. So they've labeled that as intermediate. Project type, it's ongoing. You'll be asked to answer the following questions when submitting a proposal. Please let us know, if you're a cover letter, why you consider yourself a senior social media manager or strategist. So you're going to have to sell yourself a little bit here. And the single skill and expertise that they've put here as a tag is social media marketing, which is exactly what we're looking for. Preferred applicants, job success at least 90%. This is going to hurt you if you don't have any history on Upwork, so you might have to go after smaller fish first. If you do have that, then you're going to have a higher chance of getting selected by these guys. If you've been labeled by Upwork as a rising talent, you'll have a better chance of getting selected. If you're in Nevada, that's really what they're looking for, so no real chance, if you're not in Nevada, of getting selected for this. So that's an important qualifier right there. Here you can see activity on the job so far. They've gotten 5 proposals, and proposal is just another word for application. It was last viewed by the client 1 day ago. They're interviewing 3 at the time. They've sent out 41 invites proactively to people rather than just passively requiring these, and unanswered invites 34. So 34 out of those 41 have not answered their invites yet. And here's a history of jobs by the clients as well as other open jobs by them on the off chance that there's something more relevant to you. For example, let's have a look at this one here. Social media manager, social media assistant. Let's say we don't meet the guidelines for a senior social media manager. We can click on this one, and here's the post for social media assistant. This is something we might be more qualified for. Same people looking for the job, except something that we're a little bit more qualified for, something that's more in our league. If you decide that you are a good match for a job and you want to apply, you click Submit a Proposal, which again is just a fancy word for apply. Click on Submit a Proposal and scroll on down here. You can once again review the summary of what they're looking for with all the information such as hours per week, etc., etc., and then you set your terms. Hourly rate, 20% Upwork service fee. You'll receive the difference between that. So Upwork basically takes 20% of whatever is paid to you by the client. So this is where you set what you're requesting. If you have a whole lot of clout, it might be okay to haggle a little bit. If they've said they only want to pay somebody $40 a month and you want to haggle with $50 a month, you're certainly able to do that theoretically. But if you really want to get the job, it might be a good idea, especially if you don't have a lot of clout or experience behind you, to just go with exactly what they were indicating that they wanted to pay. Additional details here. This is where you want to fill out a cover letter explaining why you should get the job. This is where you sell them, okay? I've been a social media manager for X number of years, or I love social media. I'm very up to date on the latest tech. I have a great command of Hootsuite, and I can publish content and curate content from within there. This is you selling yourself. And then down here, it looks like, in this case, do you fulfill the requirements in the job post? They just want a simple yes or no to make sure that they're not getting silly applications from people who didn't take the time to read their application. For example, it did say Nevada, and if we don't live in Nevada, we probably want to put a no here, in which case we should probably just not be applying to begin with, okay? Because they'll just think you're wasting their time. If you have anything else, such as a professional resume, PDF, or other things that you'd like them to see, you can always upload those here, submit proposal, and then you're going to be eventually interviewed by them if they look over your profile, look over your cover letter, and decide you're a good fit for a potential interview. So that's pretty much it, guys. Fiverr is where you post your gigs, the freelance work that you're willing to do, and people come to you and shop around and decide whether or not they want to do business with you or someone else. Upwork is where primarily the people looking for freelancers post their job, and you go to them and you decide, after shopping around, which one's a good fit for you. You submit some applications and hopefully get an interview. So two totally different ways of finding freelance work, and ideally, you'd be doing both of those if you want to have a higher chance of finding clients. But as you can see, this whole scheme over the last 3 videos that we've gone over, this is not an impossible task. You really can start a business as a freelancer. You really can generate revenue right now providing freelance services for people. Number 1, what do you want to do? What are you good at? What can you learn to do? And where can you learn to do it? Number 2, what tools, resources, assets do you need in order to fulfill jobs? And number 3, where do you go to get found, and what are the best practices for getting found by clients? So if you're ready to make some money with freelancing, go out there, figure out what job you want to perform, what service you want to provide to the world. Go get the resources you need, get the training you need, get the assets you need, and the tools and the softwares. Then come to Fiverr, come to Upwork, roll up your sleeves, and start freelancing.
Thanks for watching Selling Custom Videos, even if you are new at it. Please stay tuned. I am constantly adding more informational videos. My goal is to help you earn more money. As always, please like and hit that notification bell. For more free training, hit the picture of me at the bottom of the screen.